We're professionals. Welcome back to AK-47 Radio, bringing you the best of the motherland without as many random executions and more fun. I'm Sam Alexander. Tonight we are joined by, actually I did that backwards. Oh well, tonight we're joined by, we're not joined by Cosmonaut General Mikhail Gonsalves. He is currently in space. But we do have our good Commissar Will, who shall her name anonymous in the last name, I suppose.
And the first name.
Actually, no, his last name is Riker. Comrade Commissar of Supply, William Riker.
That might be the biggest compliment you've ever given me.
And you do the whole little leg walk over which I never noticed until somebody pointed out to me that apparently Will Riker, because of the actor's issues, always steps over the chair.
He also plays the trombone.
That was a saxophone.
No.
I'm thinking of Bill Clinton again, aren't I?
Why would you ever think about Bill Clinton? Unless you're worried about him making you commit suicide by shooting yourself in the back of the head 5 times.
To be fair, I already told you that when I was a little kid looking up at Cheyenne Mountain, NORAD, it's called the radio towers on top, right? And when I was a kid, my dad said, oh yeah, NORAD up there is where the president goes to hide in a big war. And my little 6-year-old brain, with Bill Clinton being the president at the time, thought, Bill Clinton goes and hides with the radio towers? Like imagining president in a suit hiding behind a radio tower. Yeah. I didn't know there was a whole thing under the mountain back then.
Indubitably
indeed. So, how's it going? How are you doing? Did you shoot Mike in the back of the head? Is that why he's not here?
I did not. In fact,
because if you were going to say, if I asked you, what'd you do for the party this week? And he said, oh, I executed somebody. I'd be like, based.
I mean, I'm not going to say that it totally didn't, but it definitely wasn't Mike if it was a person.
Yeah. See, what we need to do is take pictures together, all romantic and shit. But then do the whole Stalin.
You lost me at romantic. Nope.
Do the whole Stalin thing where we just erase him or erase one of us from the picture and then repost it. It's actually not a bad idea.
Nope.
So what did you do to advance the party's interest this week?
Is this where we want to get into gear chat, or is this just an overall, like, how is your week going?
Oh, like that. This is this whole what did you do to advance the party's interest this week is anything you did. I don't care. You can talk about guns if you want. You can talk about what I did this week. I went out and shot shit this week.
Oh,
anything like that.
We'll wait for gear chat.
There's no real instructions on this kind of thing. We make it up as we go.
That sounds about right. The week was I put up gun wall.
I noticed.
Yes. So
that is a very big damn gun wall. It doesn't look as big as it is in real life, and I can only tell the size of it because the fucking Mosin on top only takes up half the length.
Yeah. I'm hoping one day to end up putting more guns and less filler on it, but I don't have more commie guns to put on it. Although there are some guns that are up there that are not commie. Like I've got the Mark 23, I've got the 1911, I've got the Hudson H9 and the Beretta, which is kind of a com block era gun ish. Not really. Oh, sorry, not com block, Cold War era.
Look, the Mark 23 has enough overlap that I would consider it in the right genre.
And it's also just basic as fuck.
Because we can take the lines of the genre and bend them around to include whatever the hell we want.
The other thing that I did is I wasted the party janitor's time to have him come over to help me do some things that ended up being physically impossible. But then we just got to bro out and talk about guns for a bit. So it worked out.
You son of a bitch. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, well, I won't let you forget about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I did to serve the party without getting into the things I really did to serve the party this week.
The Soyuz has landed.
Hi, fellers.
Did your parachute open?
Almost didn't. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then it opened, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, we thought the same thing. We were watching the live feed.
Yeah, I don't know. Those Soviets sure can make a parachute and an escape capsule. Too bad they can't make a rocket to save their life.
I mean, you say that, but we've had to send our astronauts up with them for a long fucking time before Elon came along.
Yeah, well, maybe if we knew how to build a space shuttle and how not to damage it and how to
technically
shuttle.
Technically, the one that got damaged was damaged by space debris. It wasn't damaged by us.
Well, it was damaged by a piece of foam that came off of the main tank.
Hang on. So, first, I'd like to point out that when we say us, it wasn't us.
It wasn't the
not
Russians.
Responsible. No, it's not the three of us. I don't want lawyers coming after me saying I killed all the astronauts and I killed that poor lady.
Raggle Fraggle has no idea what's going on. It's cool, dude. Neither do we.
Yes, neither do we. It's perfectly fine. So, Mike, since you're here just in time, what did you do to advance the party's interest this week?
I took my new Glock 17 out to the range and tried it out, and lo and behold, 0 jams.
Wow.
Almost like it was made for 9mm.
Right? Amazing. So I think we can dispel the myth that you can just change calibers in a Glock by swapping mags in a barrel.
I'm actually genuinely surprised. But only because of the ejector. In fact, so I don't know how many Glocks. I bought 3 of them when I was living in California. All 3 of my California Glocks came with the stupid, actually, I take that back. The Glock 26 comes with a 10-round mag anywhere you buy it. But the other 2, the 19 and the 17, came with the California-ized 10-round limited full-size magazines. And the only jams I've ever had in my Glocks were with those California 10-round magazines.
Interesting.
It's almost a conspiracy.
Yeah. Almost. And they're Glock brand and everything. Like it wasn't some aftermarket thing.
I mean, Gaston would do anything for money, including die.
And sell horse cum.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's some horse.
Yeah, except for we all make fun of that. There's a lot of freaking money in horse semen. A surprising amount.
It's a good way to see a lot of cum in horse cum.
There is, but hey, I'm not the one who has to get it out of there, so problem solved.
Red rocket, horsey. Red rocket.
Okay, nope, never mind. Moving on. Nope.
I've been here 3 minutes.
Speaking of Soyuz.
Jesus Christ. Hey, Mike, you want to go back to space real quick?
Red rocket.
Well, I went out.
Do you want to ride it? That's your call.
I mean, to get back into space, we'd have to get on a red rocket.
Oh my god! So I went shooting this week.
I will point out, I also I advanced the little communist in my child as well. We
took her gun. Introduce her to her first bread line?
No, we took her shooting too.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing that with one of my little commies here soon. But anyway, I went shooting and took the PSA AK-101 out, pounded about, that was a bad choice of words right after we're talking about horses, put about, it wasn't a whole lot of rounds because mostly I was working on the surplus FLC that I talked about last week. I got it all set up, so then took it out to the range, and it is depressingly boring, almost.
The flick or the AK?
The flick.
Oh, I mean, because it's supposed to be boring.
I know. That's the thing. After here, because I've never touched one in the past, because again, it was like, oh no, those things fucking suck, or they look doofy, and like, yeah, sure, it may look doofy, but at the end of the day, it's a chest rig with extra bra coverage.
It's That's at least a C.
Something like that.
Minus.
I did multiple reload drills, and my freaking audio equipment on the camera was just killing me. But just starting with one mag with 5 rounds in it. Shoot 5 rounds, reload, and just go across the whole chest rig from left to right, and just stop, reload, do it over again and over again, and no hangups or issues. So, based. We'll be using that for a little bit longer. AK had no problems. Shot my USP 45 a little bit, did a couple of bill drills. Didn't have any battery left in my shot timer for some reason, so I didn't get to really time those, but wasn't too disappointed with the results. They mentally felt like decent drills.
We
Almost
all need
introduced
to get together and actually go up and do a commie range day.
We'll book out the range down by Hanover rather.
I mean, one way or the other, we gotta.
Although, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I was saying. It's one way or the other. That's what we got to do.
Well, yeah, I just need to buy some ammo first.
Yeah, that happens. And then I was watching some Ukraine war footage that popped up on Instagram, and it's these Ukrainians. Well, I'm assuming it's legit footage. Though these days I don't trust fucking anything I see. Anyway, they're creeping up on some Russian position. There we go. I was trying to say something, but position that they just grenaded the fuck out of. And you're looking like the camera sees the ground. It's like, oh, this place is full of as much trash as the public shooting area it was just at. So if we ever want to emulate, like, battlefield shit, we'll just go up there and roll around in the broken glass and broken bottles. And the garbage.
That sounds fun.
If you are the person who goes to a public shooting area and unboxes about 600 rounds of 5.56 PMC and then leaves the boxes sitting there in the dirt, you are an asshole, and I hope you die in a fire.
In several of my videos, I would go to a public range and there would be like TVs, washing machines, all kinds of crap just out there full of bullet holes. And in the beginning of my video, I would film all of that and I would voice over, if you do this, go fuck yourself, clean up after yourself. And this is why we lose public shooting land, because people do shit like this.
At least at Turkey Tracks, it's isolated and they know it's just going to be trashed. But yeah, you're still fucking trash. We used to take all sorts of nonsense out into the wilderness of Idaho because Idaho was our shooting range. That we have some really good pictures of about 15 or 20 of us. We all got in a firing line and then opened up on a big screen TV. But this was the big screen TV that we have at home, the one with the big old back at the back.
Oh, it takes like 3 people to move it.
Yeah, before we had flat screens.
I hate those.
So,
I've had to move them before doing carpet, and it's just.
I mean, we took the trash with us, but we reduced it to rubble. It was amazing.
Reducing stuff to rubble's fine. It's just put it back in the fucking truck and go to the landfill when you're done.
Absolutely. Shooting trash is fun. Just mag dumping into trash, but
clean your trash up.
Then leave it there.
Right.
I don't feel bad about leaving brass because the brass gremlins will come grab it.
Oh,
my precious.
There's 2 of them up there for sure that I see every single time. One of them was already parked on top of the hill watching. It's like, and then he drove by as I was actually picking up all of my brass because I shot all of my reloaded. Oh, I must have shot closer to 250 rounds because I did burn that whole ammo can. Anyway, I had like 250 rounds of hand-loaded 5.56 that I'll hand load again. That it's kind of my range ammo. I load it and take it out and reload it. But anyway, yeah, he drove by and I could sense his displeasure as I was cleaning up my brass.
Like he's rolling by and like giving you the stink eye as he's holding up his little brass roller. Like, that was supposed to be my brass.
Yeah, this isn't the old crotchety one. This is the more like on drugs one.
So he's collecting the brass for pennies so he can buy meth?
Probably. There's old crotchety guy who did let me shoot a 500 Smith & Wesson when I was out there with some guys one time, which is pretty dope. Except for the fact where you're shooting a 500 Smith & Wesson in front of like 10 other guys. And so you're like, I can't miss. Don't miss. Don't drop the gun. And
they're all on drugs. As far as they're concerned, there were 20 targets and they don't know which one you
Well,
hit.
these guys weren't on drugs, and this is the old crotchety brass goblin, not the
okay.
druggy brass goblin.
He's the one that I was picturing with the stink eye and the brass rolly dude. When I say brass rolly doodad, we know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, the brass
cage
magnet.
thing.
The brass magnet.
Well, sure, call it a magnet. It's the little cage thing you roll over the brass. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about with the rolly thingy.
Well, you didn't answer in the affirmative or negative. You just stared.
Because I know things. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Filthy little shooters is. But yeah.
So anyway, no, had a good little range day. Absconded from work, which is always good. Stopped myself from taking 10 different rifles with me, because that's my usual problem when I go to the range. I go, oh, I'll take this one. Oh, I'll take this one. I'll take this too. Oh, I bet as well take this out. And then I end up shooting none of them and having to come up all the fucking weight around. But no. Good little. Just
you packed all that up in the truck and didn't use any of it.
I did remember my ammo this time, though.
That was wise. For those of you out there in the audience, I highly suggest remembering your ammo.
That's a pro tip from the party.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, that's half the reason in Minecraft want to bury a cache up there with some ammo in it. Is the times I forget ammo and go, oh shit, all right, never mind, I'll be right back.
You have to go down to like an occupied berm and like, hey, don't mind me. You just start tossing trash left and right and then start digging in the middle, and they're like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Oh shit, that's actually not a terrible idea, because that
is a terrible idea.
No, well, not downrange, but everyone's always worried about somebody finding their cache, their cache. So, you got to make sure you put some metal on top so they don't find it with a metal detector. Fucking bury it up there. The place is a landfill.
Yeah.
Take a metal detector out all you want.
And you buried it, like when you expose it, when you dig it up out from underneath all the trash and dirt in front of people who were already shooting there, and they're watching you do this going, WTF, mate. They're going to start going and wandering around to other, they're going to be going to other berms and start randomly digging holes looking for ammo caches.
This is like an interesting case of mass hysteria.
Yes.
From the outside, anyway. We know what's going on. Anyway, shall we talk about AKs for once?
Sure, I brought my SKS, but let's talk about those.
Well, this is what we were supposed to talk about last week, but then we ended up squirreling, and my stupid little mouse thing's not working still.
I don't know what you expected from this show, but it surely wasn't to stay on topic.
No, it was not. But I did want to briefly touch this week on your first AK and what it should be and why it should probably be as a stuff.
Well, it should be AK.
Well, it should be AK. If you buy one of those terrible, like the CMMG mutant, you are a bastard child of no one. You are not welcome.
Isn't that just the description of CMMG owners?
Basically, you are not welcome.
Why are you describing me right now?
Will is so turned off right now.
If you'd be quiet, I'd tell you why. Because you are a bastard child who owns a CMMG mutant.
I am a bastard child. I don't own anything CMMG except maybe a patch. Or
you belong to either. You belong to neither Nick Dooley at the AR-15 podcast nor to us, because neither party wants you.
I'm okay with this.
You are the third world of the gun world.
Okay.
Fun fact: do you know where the term "third world" comes from? No.
I mean, we are the third planet from the sun.
Close enough.
Is that when like you're in a shithole country and you're walking around and then you just turn and look off into the distance and start talking to no one because you just broke the fourth world?
Something. Actually, no, it has nothing to do with like, oh, these countries are poor. It's a Cold War term that refers to first world being, the Western world, and then the other world, so the second world being Soviet aligned blocks, and the third world was just anybody not aligned either side. So it originally had nothing to do with your socioeconomic status.
But it's funny how that worked out.
Yeah, I was about to say, but it also turns out all those countries were kind of, in terms of, we say, third world. Dr. Scary Guy in the chat wants to know where episodes 3 through 8 went. Well, sir, because this is a picked up revived podcast, technically we started on episode number 8. So this would make this this would make
Yes.
this episode number 10.
Yeah, they had 7 episodes, right?
Yeah.
7, yes.
And they
Which is
realized, wow, we're terrible at this, and they quit.
It wasn't terrible at it, but it's hard to do. It's hard to commit to doing stuff, especially when you're doing it by yourself.
They couldn't come up with dick and horse cum jokes and gay jokes
That's
on the fly like
factual.
we can.
They couldn't pretend they were a communist state of Upper Lower Podovstan. They didn't have that. I'm sorry, they just didn't have the creativity.
Now, Dr. Scary Guy wants to know then, why is this 009 if it's 010? That would be because it's hard to count.
Yeah, math is hard, especially when you only have.
Well, especially when you originally start
That
writing
many
things
fingers.
down as episode 1, because you're not sure if FRN is going to backdate it to just a new episode or start you off from where you were at. So then it becomes, this got Will big time. So it's like, okay, technically I need to upload our first episode, not as episode 1, but as episode 8, which means our second goes up as episode 9, which confused the absolute hell out of you.
Yeah, we probably, and you're still pointing away from me on the screen.
Not
We
on mine.
probably had a 15-minute long group chat conversation about this yesterday or the day before because I was so confused.
And if there are if I upload a live stream or I schedule a live stream where the episode number is one episode number off, get used to it. I've been doing that crap for 3 years.
So this episode is going to get uploaded next week as episode 00D.
We're not doing Roman numerals. No,
D is not a
The
Roman.
X.
it is a Roman numeral, but
We could
it's-
do 00X. That's a great idea.
God damn it.
Don't tempt me.
Now
'Cause
Will's
I'm
like,
actually-
fuck.
Yeah, I'll be fine. This episode is 0X. 0. Oh God. Anyway,
00XI. 00XII.
speaking of Roman numerals, Romania. They're a country.
They have Wassers.
They do, which the
They used
Wasser
to have
10,
Wassers.
they still do. I was mistaken on our first one because there was a while where Romania was saying they weren't going to export any more AKs, and they are still doing it. The Wasser 10 is still, in my opinion, probably one of the best starting rifles you can get your mitts on, especially if you want something AKM pattern.
What does Wasser stand for? Like Western Alpine Summit of Romania?
It stands for Romanian word, Romanian word, Romanian word, Romanian word.
I'm pretty sure
The R
last
is
word
probably Romanian.
Romania. Glad we're on the same page.
I mean, if you really want to know, yeah, it's Wassenaar arrangement semi-automatic rifles.
Glad I know that now.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that tickle my tism.
Referring to the Wassenaar arrangement on export controls for conventional arms and dual-use goods and technologies, which was established in 1996.
That is such an Eastern European label for things.
Mm-hmm. Basically, I say actually no, it's it's the Netherlands, so that would be
Dusky said a Wasser X.
no, that would be Glock. After the Glock V, we'll get the Glock X. Anyway, no, it's just trade agreements that were come up with, which I did not know that until just now. So that's where Wasser comes from, huh?
It's amazing you don't
Wassenaar.
think to Google these things until someone actually asks the question like, hey, what does that mean?
Yeah, something along those lines. Now the Wash 1063. I still regret. Oh, I don't regret it because my OPAP back there has been an absolutely bomb ass rifle. But I definitely regret not buying a Wasser 10 back in the day, when even when I was around, you could still get those things for 600 or under.
I think
Absolute gems.
my first one I paid we may have gone over this, but my first one I paid a buddy $400 for right before we went to Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple years later, we came back from United Arab Emirates, and I had a whole bunch of money, and I was like, I'm going to buy an AK to tack out. And I tacked it out with Tapco like an idiot.
No, don't you disparage.
We had this
Wasser. I'm not
conversation.
Tapco, sir.
He's disparaging Tapco, and we had
Yes.
this conversation last week.
I am disparaging Tapco because while they may be a fine company in other respects, their AK furniture was absolute.
You're on thin ice.
It was trash. It was straight trash. He's gonna boot me now. But I paid like $450 for that second one, so I was trying to do it as cheaply as possible. I didn't like anything about the way that Tapco furniture felt. I didn't like the buttstock. I didn't like the foregrip or the forend or anything like that. The only thing that was acceptable was it had a rail and you could put a grip on it if you wanted. But you can do that now you can find wood grips for AK. So,
I mean, the Tapco G2 trigger is an absolute classic. That is your classic squishy AK trigger.
But so it's not something I want at all. Got it.
But it gets you to 922R compliance.
Gross.
Same with that AK. Same with that Tapco mag. And if you put a dong foregrip on anything but a Romanian rifle, you are an animal and not worthy.
Put it on as a Zastava. Make the world burn.
Yeah, but then you got to glue it on. The handguards don't even match up. People put them on like Russian AKs and so on and go, oh, look, it's like, yeah, dude, that's meant to go on a Romanian AK. I'm not a total purist, but there are some things that are just wrong.
It would be pretty cool to get a
purist.
I know you are. I'm not saying that loud.
You're the guy that would put a 350 in a Porsche 944.
You said car things, so sure.
That's all I heard too was car stuff.
Don't worry. It was
Porsche. That's the
capitalist for you.
Porsche. You're talking about the Porsche Tiger Tank, right?
No, I think you mispronounced it as Porsche.
Now I'm gonna murder you.
Good luck, bitch.
Yeah, my money's on Will. Anyway, Wasser's a good bet.
I don't have to do it close.
And I don't have to defend myself close.
No.
My money's still on Will. Zastava's a pretty good bet too. The Z-Paps that are out right now are, from what I'm seeing, pretty decent rifles. I have not handled the Z-Pap in person. I do own an OPAP. The OPAP seems to be, or the Z-Pap seems to be some kind of random offspring of the OPAP. The OPAP is what's hanging out behind me, which is awfully darn close to a military M70, minus them not putting the grenade launcher front sight or grenade launcher sight gas block combo on them.
I have a CPAP. Does that count?
Actually, no.
No, because it's actually made using fine-tuned science and mechanics and not just beaten together with multiple sledgehammers.
Damn, you got me on that one. I wanted to ask what all those rifles are going for these days, and I'm just going to go to Gunbroker and see what we got.
I believe the Z-Paps are flying in, boy, I want to say like an MSRP of, oh geez, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I know you can get a Wasser these days still for under $1,000, which is just absolutely ridiculous to say, all things considered.
How do you know what kind it is?
Like, what do you mean?
Because it knows what it is because it knows what it isn't.
It knows what it is because it knows what it isn't.
You can tell it's that way because that's how it is. Like the very first one that popped up is a pretty decent looking Century Arms RAS 47.
Excuse me?
I mean, it's decent until you figure out whether or not they properly pin the front trunnion.
We're going to get to Century later.
I've already said in episode 1 of our episode 1, at least, that my first AK is going to be a PSA. Just so
episode VII.
No, episode 8.
So VII, got it.
No, VII is 7.
So you can still get a Wasser for basically about $950, $925. You can get the Century builds for a little bit cheaper sometimes, including the Visca.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Is that good or bad? Because I'm looking at Viscas right now.
Definitely bad. Century Arms, their American-made AKs have a very long and colorful history of being terrible.
So is Visca the Century made one?
It's one of the Century-made ones. They started off with, I believe it was a Centurion something. It was a C-39 back in the day. Had issues with bolt lugs shearing off. Had issues with trunnions not being set right. Had issues with rivets not being set right.
I will say back when Century was just importing before we had even more import bans than we do now, and they were just importing from other countries and doing some basic conversions for 922R. From what I understand, they were way better. But now the stuff they're doing in-house, at least again, from what I understand.
They started off as absolute drunken monkeys, which is the joke about Century Arms is that they employ drunken monkeys. Because a lot of the early SAR, so the Romanian SAR ones and the Wasser 1063s, when those started coming in, a lot of those early conversions from right after assault weapons ban ends, a lot of those were really rough because it took them a bit to get their footing underneath them. Then they hit their stride for a good chunk of time with a lot of those imports. And then I believe it was the C-39 was their first, like, this is the American-made AK. And they hit issues with those immediately, right out the gate. And then it's been, the C-39s had a lot of issues. The Viscas, I've heard, have also had a lot of issues. The BF-47, I think, is their other one they have now. I have handled one of those. BFT-47. Big fucking target 47, I suppose. It didn't feel like a terrible rifle when I held it. I do have an issue with they used an RPK, at least trunnion on it. I'm assuming a 1.5 millimeter receiver as well. And they fucked with the rivet pattern on it to make room for their big BFT-47 engraved on the side, which I'm not a fan of fucking with the rivet pattern.
Huh.
I'm also not a fan of my guns having giant billboards on the side of them that say BFT-47 or any other such nonsense.
AK-50.
What about it?
Yes, that is the first AK that a brand new AK person should buy, is the AK-50 that doesn't even exist yet on the market. Thank you, Mikhail.
That is not what I was saying. I was saying it's probably got this big old stamp on the side of it that says AK-50.
Yes, but it's a giant ass gun, so a big stamp is going to look like a normal stamp.
Yeah, if you put a little stamp on it, people will be like, what is this? A fucking stamp for ants?
So there is a Wasser 10 on Gunbroker.
You're about to buy it.
Its current bid is 174.69.
How many days does it have left?
It ends on 12/7.
I saw
it's going to go up.
Oh, I should have checked it. There was a Gunbroker listing for a High Point C9 for $39. I was really close to bidding on it.
Dude, I kind of would like to bid on this, but I have no doubt it'll just
it'll creep up and up and up, and it'll probably go for more than the damn thing's actually worth.
Probably. Ooh, this one's all black.
PSA is coming up in the chat. So Palmetto State Armory, I have a very love-hate relationship personally, and that is not just AKs. That is all of their guns. Because we love to joke about, but it's been a joke with PSA for a long time. Right now, it's very popular to say that SIG beta tests their products on consumers, which, yeah, definitely. PSA has been beta testing their shit on people for fucking years. And years and years and years and years. Everything from ARs all the way on up out the door.
It's true, you know.
Including a lot of their first gens of AKs. They seem to have very much nailed down finally. I've not been hearing issues recently with their 7.62x39 guns.
I've heard nothing but good from their Gen 3 AKs.
Right.
But again, I have no hands-on experience.
Their Gen 1s running into the same issues a lot of the old Century ones we're dealing with, sheared off bolts, trunnions not being set right, losing headspace within 500 rounds. where you drop a go no go gauge in them, and it's like, oh, the rounds aren't head spacing properly. Fantastic. Dr. Scary Guy says PSA doesn't claim to be a premium brand.
But you know what? If you're gonna sell guns, you should at least sell guns that work. Like high point guns are cheaper than dog shit, but they work. As long as you lube them properly, they fucking work.
I mean, a lot of things work if you lube them properly.
Except you.
Well, yeah, well, I don't need lube.
Oh, speaking of lube, Will.
Okay, nope.
It was not going to be gay, but anyway.
Oh, yes, it is.
There is apparently, it seems to be a buy it now, $609.96.
You are just shopping right now, aren't you?
For a Wasser 10.
I have a plan. My next gun will be another commie gun, and I'm not telling you fuckers what it is.
He's buying a Fedorov.
I'm buying something, but I'm extremely excited about it. Anyway, we'll get to that in a future episode once I actually have it. But yeah, my first AK, I'm planning on doing a PSA, mostly because, like, one, they're in the States. Two, they have, from what I understand, pretty good customer service. And if not, well, then we can talk about their customer service, good, bad, or indifferent. If I have issues, but I'm hoping I don't have issues. I just think it's a good starter rifle for the AK genre. Like, I've got a younger brother that's very much into commie guns, but he doesn't have very many commie guns, and he is into cars like we're into guns. And I'm into guns like he's into cars. And so me and him have almost no overlap in interests. For somebody like him, if he wanted to get an AK, I would recommend going PSA, because then you can be like, oh, I can change out the grip. I can change out the stock. I can change out blah, 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 blah. I can do these things to it, figure out what you like. And then when you inevitably screw it up or something doesn't work, you're learning lessons along the way on a gun that, one, wasn't super expensive in the first place, and two, if it ends up being a complete non-functional piece of crap, which I don't expect PSA to be, you didn't spend that much money on it, and you didn't bubba an expensive original.
Agreed. If you're going to go out and buy your first AK and you go out and buy an Arsenal, which Arsenal is fucking funny, actually, because Arsenal, especially after prices went up, so this would be Circle 10 Arsenal, so Bulgarian. So, used to be, back when I was a wee little lad, back in 2013, Russian AKs were the cream of the crop. You wanted to buy an Ishmash, you wanted to buy a Saiga, one of the two. Imports from Russia got shut down. Then everyone's obsession rotated down. And not everyone's obsession. I'm talking about the guys who were fair weather friends of everything, rotated down to Circle 10 in Bulgaria, and that was the absolute shiznit. The irony being that Circle 10 in Bulgaria repeatedly had finish issues, specifically on the barrels, where after a few hundred rounds, the finish would just be peeling off the barrel.
Well, I mean, it's also like people that are into it, but they're not the super complete purists. So they want something that's affordable that gives them the same effect. It's like, I want an M16A2, but I can't get it with the 3-round burst currently. Fuck the NFA, fuck the ATF. So I would take a semi-auto M16A2 clone because it gives me the same kind of feel, even though it's semi-auto only. So I'm saying, like, you get limited out of the things you really want. No, it's butt feel. You get limited out of the things that you really want, and then you settle for the best of what you can get for the money.
Oh yeah, I totally agree in that regard. Anyway, Arsenal's a fun one. Also, people talk about Chinese AKs like they're holy grails, but I'm pretty sure that's just because you can't get them anymore.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton. You
appreciate it, Hiram Walker.
Anyway, on the PSA thing, I agree to a point. If you are going to buy an AK and you have no interest in playing around with furniture, you just want AK because AK cool, I don't think you can really go wrong with the Zastava, because they are solidly built rifles. The only issues Zastava ever had was on their end paps, and they had some heat treat issues with the receivers. Other than that, Zastava rifles have generally been considered very like fucking Toyota Corolla.
And they've also been pushing the market in like other things that we haven't been able to get in the US that they've made. They've been pushing to bring things back in ATF approved importable configurations for people that want, like the Yugo M57, for example. They're making brand new M57s.
Yep, they are pumping out M72s, which is the RPKs, the M77s, or the 308s. I should have bought a freaking M77 years ago. There was a point when Century was importing them, though, that the M77 mags were impossible to get. So you were going to have to modify M14 mags, which scared me off of buying one. I really regret that because they used to be about $750 instead of $1,500 these days.
Man,
talk about absolutely depressing.
I'm still stuck on this $600 Wasser. Like
I've noticed, you seem to be you almost sound like you need somebody to push you over the edge into buying it.
They also have a Smith & Wesson M&P 15 for $380.
So I'm going to put it this way: if you don't buy that gun, you have no nipples and you are a pussy. You placing your bid right now?
I have a nipple. Shit.
So
I can't.
I don't know if we're. Go ahead, Mike.
I can't buy another gun. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat right meow. Sadly.
Raggle fraggle. Where does AKM stack up in the AK hierarchy, sir? You're jumping about 15 episodes too far ahead. Probably a hell of a lot more than that.
Stick around.
AKM is, to brief it, AK-47. That's the original pattern of rifle that gets mass produced. It's produced with a milled receiver. No, it gets produced with a stamp receiver initially.
I think that was just a trial, though.
M was.
They switched. Hang on, I'm getting there.
Okay,
and they switched to the AK-47 being a milled receiver in a short interim period because they didn't get the stampings fixed up. The AKM is when they finally got all their stampings worked out in mass production. So it's the Avtomat Kalashnikov modernized.
And the way I remember it is that you would think that AKM means AK milled or machined, and
Nope.
It's actually the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's modernized.
It is modernized, and that is, I mean, that's came out in 1959, somewhere right around there. So it's not like it's some new
years.
Yeah. So it's not like it's some new fucking thing that came out. It's just, hey, we fixed that's the pattern. So when you think of an AK-47 in your brain, 99% of the time you are thinking of an AKM. You're not thinking of an actual, technically, let me push my glasses up my nose, AK-47. Your brain is thinking of an AKM.
Yeah.
But if you name a podcast AKM radio, people go, what's an AKM?
Yeah. So how much more do we have to go into the what
Not a whole lot more. Not a whole lot more.
I have things that I want to talk about.
I know. Hold your horses, sir.
Yeah,
I was going to touch on a couple more. Actually, just one more manufacturer. Oh, we didn't really finish up on PSA. I agree on PSA in terms of warranty is good. They're 7.62 by 39, so those Gen 3 rifles seem to be perfectly solid. Haven't seen any issues. I've messed around with Sean Heron from We Like Shootings a bunch. Seems to be good. So I was an early adopter, which I tried never to be, of their 5.56 rifles because in Colorado with our lovely, Colograd, with our lovely fucking laws here, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to buy one. So I bought them. First gen. Shouldn't have done that. Some other issues with the 5.56 guns I have read have been throwing AK-74 pattern trunnions in them, which has slightly different geometry to them. Also issues with bolts and heat treatment. I've not seen those on either of mine, but I've still got to get a lot more rounds downrange on them. And then Circle 11, that's Radom in Poland. They are importing under WBP. I've not handled one of those rifles in person. However, they're going to be a little bit more expensive than PSA for the most part. But if you're looking for a solid AKM pattern rifle, I think you'd probably be hard to go astray with Circle 11.
I mean, I feel like
again, anywhere that has been manufacturing the frickin' rifles for a couple of generations now, you're probably not gonna go wrong there.
To support your point, I feel like most of the more AK knowledgeable people out there, even today, are still saying if you can get an import over a US manufactured AK, you're probably better off quality wise going with the import.
If you want to buy once, cry once, and not worry about warranty issues at all, yeah, probably.
Yeah. But I mean, again, part of this is my lore. I may or may not be a capitalist Western sympathizing plant. So I'm going to buy the US AK for my first AK. And we'll see how it goes from there.
That actually matters to some people. I am not one of those people, in the sense that I'm perfectly fine sending my money overseas to some random Serbian or Polish dude who's going to make a far less wage than I will. But if it's one of those things where, like, dude, I like to leave my money in America, I like to buy American, have at it.
Hell, I have a Hollow Sun Chinese red dot on my everyday carry pistol. I'm not worried about sending money overseas. I think I said in the chat before this, I think that all of the sanctions and import bans and all that crap should go away so we can get the cool stuff and the cheap stuff, is like Tula ammo or Russian made or Chinese made AKs, SKSs, etc. I think all that crap should go away.
Make AKs $300 again.
Yes.
SKS is $100 again.
Do you know how cheap 7.62x39 would be if we could import Chinese ammunition again?
Yes, because I bought it at those prices.
We're talking like 7 and 6 prices almost, because China would flood us with that shit.
So I'm not so much on like America only made products stuff. It's more of a this is what I'm limited to selection wise. I want to go with PSA to start and then learn my lessons, learn how to run the gun from there. And if I have issues, the company is in America, so I at least have, I would think, better warranty support.
So I would say that's the warranty thing is a valid concern if you run into a situation where the manufacturer, well, I don't think we're going to sanction Poland anytime soon, but the EU did just pass some gay marriage stuff, which Poland might react negatively to, in which case Poland leaves NATO, Poland attacks Russia because they no longer have to worry about Article 5, and then we sanction Poland for trying to start World War III.
Poland attacks Russia.
It's kind of based.
Poland defeats Russia. Poland takes over Russia. Russia becomes
Poland.
Russia becomes Eastern Poland.
Poland becomes superpower.
Okay, so here's my question. How much does a PSAK cost?
It depends on what you get. And the other thing is, I'm not going to go traditional, niet, the rifle is fine. I'm going to go full on. We're not as good as American, even the American basic fucking what they would issue to your normal soldier or whatever. But I want to make.
You're going fancy boy rifle.
I want all of my AKs to have all of the things on them, just like I want all of my ARs to have all of the things on them, all the force multipliers. So,
but if Fraggle says no way Poland conquers Russia, my guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Dude.
They're having a pretty hard time of conquering Ukraine.
Yeah, now
they're kind of like Poland.
I would
walk in there right now.
I would put money on Poland.
Yeah,
I'd put like $10 on Poland because I'm not a betting guy. I'd put $10 on Poland and I'd put $5 on Russia, and that way I at least don't completely lose everything.
Anyway,
watch Bill loses both his bets.
Yeah, Bill loses both his bets because it's actually freaking it's Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan takes over.
Kazakhstan is a secret world power. We just didn't know it. Hang on. All right, I'm gonna close this out real quick. PSA AKs, you're usually running, it depends on their freaking rotating list of sales. You're probably going to get out the door with a basic Gen 3 7.62 by 39 rifle for probably a little under $800. WPB so Circle 11, that's importing WBP. Their basic rifle that's coming in right now is called the Jack AK-47 rifle. 1750 is what I'm seeing it for on Atlantic. So yeah.
So
AKs are not, they've balanced out in price some with some options that are still, they're never going to go back to their good old day prices though.
So the reason I asked is because you can get a Wasser, which we all know Wassers are quality. They work, versus PSA, which might work. You get a Wasser $200 cheaper right now than a PSA. So I just don't understand. Like, if you want to learn,
I would never
learn to run.
I would never buy a Wasser because they don't have magazine dimples, and magazine dimples, like all dimples, are kind of hot.
I agree.
Would you rather your lady? Would you rather your lady have dimples or no dimples?
I would rather my lady do what I bought her to do.
So you're gonna pay more for the nipples. Got it. All right. That's enough of that shit. This is where we're going to need some bumper music because the commissar has something to talk about, and I'm giving him the floor for the next 20 minutes if he wants it.
I do want it. So we'll do this in phases because there are multiple things to discuss. But because the commissar does not own real AK.
Well, because you don't need to. You don't shoot people in the back of the head with an AK.
I mean, you could.
No, that's never mind. I'm not going there. Really dark joke.
So the commissar, once all this started, spent money on camera, microphone, studio setup things, and then was like, oh, I already have a few commie-ish guns, but I need more commie guns because I don't do anything half-ass. So Commissar decided, and I'm actually doing this out of order of purchase date, but you guys will see why. Commissar decided must has commie adjacent pistol. And I saw this for, I'm going to use,
what is this, sir?
I'm getting there. I saw this for 299 rubles on Das Internet.
So about $10,
pretty much. Really, this is a surplus Yugo M57. So this is the Yugoslavian version of the Tokarev. It actually has a longer grip, so it holds one more round compared to the standard Tokarev. And actually, I have medium size hands.
Yeah,
what?
One more round
gun instead of 7.
It's 9 instead of 8, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't shot my Tokarev in a long time. So
yeah, it actually has, I've got medium size hands. So like not big man hands at all. And you can imagine how much shorter the grip would be. Single action, I've seen this referred to on the internet as the Russian or Soviet 1911. Now they do import them with a manual safety that is not standard. That's part of a whole ass review. One thing I did find interesting, look how tall that rear sight is and how short the front sight is. So it's actually kind of angled up a little bit when you line the sights up, which I thought was weird.
So you can get that good apricot back of the headshot.
Yep. Yeah. It's that 7.62 by 25.
Yep, 7.62 by 25.
Yeah. So like
a zipping little fucking pistol.
Yeah, Russian version of a 5.7, but obviously inferior.
Oh, or 357 SIG. I've always looked at it as more of a
you know what, that's a valid
SIG.
That's probably a more valid comparison. But
which also means it's cooler because it's not 357 SIG.
It's facts. It's really cool. I mean, the magazine
sucks.
The magazine that it came with has the little lanyard loop on the bottom of it. I've got a few extra magazines. I ordered a holster, and instead of a M57 or even a Tokarev magazine, they sent me another Makarov magazine that I showed off last week. So now I have 2 Makarov magazines.
Oh no! What do you do?
I know. I got the cleaning rod. I've got the leash because, again, my babies roll that way. I've got 2 extra mags. I just don't have the holster to put it all together. But I'm really excited. I still do not even own ammunition for this thing. Single action only. Really cool. Apparently, you're not supposed to dry fire these things.
Oh
So
shit! I
gotta
dry fire mine all the time.
Yeah, I got to stop doing that. But the Yugo pattern specifically does come. It's inside the grip, but there is a magazine disconnect. So if the magazine isn't in the gun, and this is not the case as far as I can tell from my research with the Russian and the Chinese guns, if there's no magazine in, you can't fire it or drop the hammer. So I did not bubba the gun. The gun is not broken. I can easily bend the spring back into place, but it came broken from the factory as far as I'm concerned. So I fixed it and I moved that spring out of the way. So now I can has pull trigger even with no magazine in gun.
So
matters to me.
So I can
do a desktop.
I can already think
I don't own ammo for it.
I can already think of 2 ethnic cleansing jokes off actually. Oh, damn it. I've already fucked up my own joke. I was going to say, if I had a penny for every ethnic cleansing joke that gun made me think of, I'd have 2 pennies, but it's kind of weird that I'd have 2 pennies.
Especially since we're not going to make pennies anymore.
Especially that, because, I'm
going to have to start saying if I had 2 nickels.
1 extra round, 1 extra Bosnian. They don't want you to shoot it's got the magazine disconnect because if they want you to start on 1, they want you to finish the rest of them.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I bought extra mags because I do plan on shooting all these surplus-y type guns. You can get, if anybody wants one, first of all, I bought this like a week and a half or so ago. So you can still get the surplus ones. But if those dry up, or if you just don't want a surplus gun that may have issues, who were we just talking about? Crap.
Aim surplus classic.
No.
Atlantic?
The Zastava. Zastava is making new production M57s. So you can buy a brand new one that wasn't used, that didn't see military service potentially. So those are options.
That's no fun.
I mean, yeah, but hell, we were talking trash about the Mosin until it became what, $800?
No kidding.
For a Mosin.
The one I was looking at was 500 and then 600. So yeah.
So I mean, you can, like I said, I paid 300-ish rubles for this one. However, that wasn't enough for me. So the gun I actually ordered first that I didn't get in time for last week's episode.
And
so
this is why he doesn't have buy a Wasser for $600 right now money.
You're
yes.
not wrong.
But okay, the commissar doesn't do military actions. The commissar oversees and supervises, and when needed, the commissar has to step in to correct and maintain good order and discipline within the ranks. And let's just be honest, sidearms are more useful and more practical and economical for that than a Wasser.
That or a Maxim gun.
I don't know. 7.62 Tokarev is like 44 cents a round at the cheapest I found.
What are you, poor?
And 7.62 by 3.9 is like 32 cents.
Listen, comrade. Shipment of ammunition has not come to comrade's residence yet. Once it gets here, comrade will shoot. All 3 party members present will get to shoot. Both
Tokarev?
Yugo Tokarev and next gun. So next gun.
I go Tokarev? All right.
Next gun. I introduced this last week.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that as my gear chat. Well, it was empty last week.
Oh.
This week, I now have gun to fill it And as you can see from based on the pictures I sent you guys with the grips versus this looks more like normal. It looks like a really dark brown, but in pictures with not awful, but just different lighting, these grips look very red. These are actually Bakelite grips that I got to replace.
There is something about a Makarov that makes me want to shoot at James Bond.
I mean, right?
Like, there's something about a Makarov that's just like, oh, this is the gun where I'm going to be a total mook in a James Bond film and get shot and killed within 10 seconds, but I'll look cool doing it.
Yeah. So this is a Bulgarian Makarov. It's got replacement Bakelite grips on it with the star in the center. Double action with a decocker versus just single action only, like the Tokarev. And the decocker works the exact opposite of like a Beretta, which most people will be familiar of. So when you push it up, that's safe and decock, not fire. So down is fire. It's got a heel magazine release, holds 8 rounds. I bought a few extra mags for this as well. And it came, for those who are watching and not listening, with these solid black plastic grips that had that thumb ledge on it.
And they've got extra backstrap on those too.
Yeah,
right?
these just, they seem, I don't know, like looking at them side by side when they're not on the gun, they seem the same size, but the gun just feels so much bigger when I held it with the original black grips versus the Bakelite grips. It feels wrong gun. It feels smaller and more comfortable in the hand like this. But again, for those who are watching, this magazine is so skinny. Like, let's compare that to a Tokarev magazine. This looks almost like a 1911 mag, and this looks like
a 22 mag.
Yeah.
Did you find one in 9x19 or 9x18?
Well, Makarovs are only 9x19.
Yeah.
9x18, the other way around.
Yes, that
9x19 won't even fit in the gun.
It won't fit in the gun, and because it is a straight blowback only, it's actually not safe to shoot continuously. From my research, I don't have any hands-on experience. It wouldn't be safe to shoot because the 9x19 has a much higher pressure curve that would be more dangerous to shoot a straight blowback, which is why pretty much you only see like PCCs and SMGs and shit in 9x19 that are straight blowback, because you can put more mass in the bolt.
Or high points.
I mean, yes, but again, more mass in the slide, which totally is also the bolt.
Yeah, but no, 9x18 is a little more like 380. And they're like little ice cream, they're little cute little bullets too, because the actual round itself is just some little round guy in the top. It's not all long and stretched out. It's just a little round. Boop.
Yeah. And I don't think 9x18 is actually a tapered cartridge. Again, I don't know, but I feel like it's a complete straight wall cartridge, whereas 9x19 is slightly tapered. So yeah, this one again, Bulgarian Circle 10. I just replaced the grips because the black grips that came on, they didn't look right. They didn't feel right. I hated everything about them except for the fact that they let me hold the gun.
That's fair. I'm so Nick from We Like Shooting, and I used to play a virtual reality game on the Oculus together. It was called Ghosts of Tabor, and it's still fun game, but it's just way too big and confusing for me now. And like, I got other shit to do. I don't have time for that anymore. But there's a lot of Makarovs in that game, and you can do some work with a Makarov. And seeing one, like, I know it's over the interwebs. I've never actually seen one in person.
Well, you will have the chance to shoot this one.
I am much excited.
Yes, me too.
I'm going to show Nick and be like, look what I got.
Also, part of our lore. Can I talk about the lore? Should I talk about the lore? I'm going to talk about the lore.
Talk about the lore.
So if you look, the slide, actually the whole gun has a really beautiful finish, especially for it being like a used military or maybe police surplus. I don't know the actual provenance of this gun, but if you look at the slide, you can see where right there at the front, the finish is super just janky again for anybody that's watching, but it's right there at the front and it's all just this one section. It's
That's
not
where the blood splattered on top of the
yes,
side.
that
And
is because both of these guns were made to be highly accurate and effective from 1 to 3 inches for execution of dissenters. And I have a feeling this is blood and brain matter that they never cleaned off,
and it
and
just eroded it.
it eroded the finish. And that's what I'm going with as to the reason why that's the only part of this gun that doesn't look very nicely blued and well done.
Yep, the rest of it's in good shape. Just that little bit on top.
Just
Yeah,
that
I mean,
blood.
you've seen it in person, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Nah,
That is much excite.
a Makarov is on my list. Makarov's been on my list for a long time.
I got that one for 350 rubles minus the grip and accessories. So
yeah, they're
with the
still
crappy black grip.
fairly affordable. All things said.
Yeah, the bulkies are
Back
not.
on the AK files years ago, there's whole long threads about concealed carrying Makarovs, and nobody had holsters for them. So it was always like, oh, it fits in an Uncle Mike holster, or it fits in this Walther PPK holster if it's leather and you stretch it.
You know, back in the day, I actually could, because I was buying these guns, I went back and Brandon Herrera did a video where he talked about how his everyday carry gun back in the day when he was like much younger on YouTube was a Bulgarian Circle 10 Makarov.
I mean,
with hollow points.
They're light, handy little pistols.
I mean, they're light, but they're all steel frames, so they're not that light.
Well, they're not. Okay, let me put it this way. Lighter than a 365, no. But in terms of like how it feels in your hand,
it does
they're just handy little pistols.
It does feel great in the hand. And frankly, even though the grips they seem to be the same size. Yes, we can get the childish jokes out of the way. Yes, hand feel matters when it comes to a carry gun. Without that stupid thumb ledge from the black plastic grips, it feels so much better in the hand.
I would postulate, I could be totally wrong on this, those might be aftermarket slapped on there for importation reasons to make the pistol sporting. Because they did a lot of those specific rules seem to be fucky as all fuck. Even more,
they are extremely fucky. However,
like my Norinko Tokarev showed up with these horrible big fucking plastic target grips on it. Same thing as that. Fucking stripped them off and got rid of them.
I don't know, because I mean, you think about Glocks, think about the Archons, think about the what's that Arex? Like, think about all these other Canics, all these other imported guns that don't come in with something like that, because I've actually looked up the import restrictions before, and there's a reason that like it has to be a certain size and all this crap for sporting purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those guns don't have that kind of thumb ledge. Think about, what was that gun you sent in the chat the other day that has like a 6-round 9x18 capacity? We were talking about last night.
That's the Radom. That's the Polish Circle 11.
I don't think it comes with the thumb ledge at all. So I don't think that's an import thing. I think that's a Bulgarian thing.
It could be. I mean, I don't on that front. I'm not that freaking autistic about the specifics of which countries Makarovs have what. So I know the Czech Makarovs look kind of like cool because they're a little more refined. The little Polish Makarovs are just like little cute little palm guns. Apparently the Poles decided you didn't need to execute more than 6 people at one time.
I like how Baja Ranger just got here, and it's about that time.
It is just about that time, because we have just about hit our mark.
Yeah,
well, it's about that time, chaps?
Hey, chaps. The other thing I wanted to point out, because we were talking about horrible Wooks furniture, or at least we think it's horrible last week. Something that I saw that was really cool just here a moment ago is that WPB is importing like traditional AKM furniture with QD mounts drilled into them. So the typical wood laminate I'm just going to share my screen real quick. But the typical wood laminate handguards, QD mount, QD slot.
Interesting.
I am not a big QD fiend. Same with the stocks. They got them right up there by the wrist. I am not a big quick disconnect fiend. I just tie freaking paracord and use HK hooks. But yeah, those are cool.
I'm wondering how well those are secured in the wood, but that's
one way to find out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how well is the sling mount I put on my OPAP actually in there? I've ran around with it slinged and I've dropped it with the sling, and when you break your neck doing that, one way to find out.
We can only hope.
Sling is fine.
Sling it, yet comrade. Sling is fine. Don't worry about it.
Is that just as good in Russian?
That's just as good. And that little guy, don't worry about that little guy.
Little guy there, don't
good
worry
enough for me.
Guy.
Tink tink.
Alrighty then. Well, I think that'll do it for the night, don't you, gents?
I guess so.
You guess so? You don't sound very confident, but fine.
I mean, if we let you, you two will just keep going, and we.
Oh, like you would just sit there in silence. You'd be in here too, talk about chronopawns
and fucking dad jokes.
That's your thing, all right.
Well, I hadn't chronoplanned on it tonight, but if you want me to, I can go into it.
Nope, moving on.
God damn it, he did both of them at the same fucking time.
Here's the music. Here's the music. The party demands feedback from its citizens. Leave us a review or face the gulag. One of these days we'll have stickers, and I will send you stickers for reviews. But in the meantime, do it out of the kindness of your heart, and so that I don't send the NKVD to your house. Get out there and serve the party with pride. Take your arms out in the field and train. Remember, a prepared Wolverine is a live Wolverine, and dead Wolverines stink. Good night, folks.
Night, guys.
Oh, crack, click, clack.